Mike's Music Method. Guys, I'm excited. Let's see if I'm live here. I am excited to live stream again. I know it's been a minute, but I was doing it like noon on a Thursday, forgetting that people have real jobs. So Saturday night special, here we are. We're live. I can see myself as people file in. Please let me know if y'all can hear me. And we're live from Mike's basement. It's Saturday night. YouTube just fed me a Chris Farley documentary. Man, that guy was funny. I don't know if those movies would hold up, like Tommy Boy, or if it's just like an age thing, like being that age when he kind of blew up. But it made me a little bit sad, dude. Poor Farley. And then I made the mistake of watching that, so now it thinks I want to watch things about like people who die young. So now it's feeding me like Jim Morrison documentaries and, you know, the 27 Club stuff. I think Farley was 33. Are there any good documentaries on Nick Drake? I'd love to watch a documentary on Nick Drake. That would be great. So guys, file in. We are going to practice together. There's a few people already here. So in the chat, say hello. Let me know that you can hear me. It got hot here in Pittsburgh. I got my showing already. Are you ready for Mike's Muscle Method? Look at that. Look at that, Mike's Muscle Method. Got like 80 degrees, so the AC's on, and my room doesn't have fancy insulation. This isn't a studio. It's a basement office. So if you can hear it, I apologize. But we're going to practice together. Mora says hi. Yes. Thank you, Mora. We are practicing together. We got a few things going on. My idea was to talk triads because I really want to, I'm doing this saddle up workshop, and I'm really trying to express the value of triads. And I already did one live stream on this. I'm going to start with that. But then afterwards, if you guys have anything you want to talk about, another idea was ear training. But I want to start pitching these practice live together sessions. Someone posted in my Discord, I'm already forgetting who it was, I believe in Nicholas, where he's like, dude, I like us, for those of us with ADD or ADHD or whatever you call it, he's like, I don't want you just to tell me what to practice. I actually want to practice with you. And I thought that was really interesting. And I've done a few videos on this before, and I think I'm going to keep running with it. So today we are going to learn triads and apply it to the Townes Van Zandt song, If I Had No Place to Fall. So I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to do this. I got to make this screen bigger so that I can see you people chat away over here. If I knew how to do this. So that's what we're going to do. Cool. All right. Triads. So saddle up. This is for Mitch and Chantal and Marianne and Jamie. One thing every guitar player should do is memorize all the notes on the E string. And don't worry about sharps or flats. We got E, F, G, A, B, and I did open 1, 3. You should know that just from cowboy chords. E, F, G. A is the 5th fret, B is the 7th, C is the 8th, D is the 10th. You can make your own little cheat sheet where you have those written down. And then pick a whole bunch of songs. And if the song calls for a G, C, D chord progression, G is the 3rd fret, C is the 8th, D is the 10th. So you would just jam on that. So we're going to do No Place to Fall, Townes Van Zandt tune. I'm going to share the chords with you. How about that? If I Had No Place to Fall, chords. I'm going to use Ultimate Guitar here. So I'm clicking on that. I'm going to change the key. No, this is good. This is the right key. Now the only problem is, do I remember how to screen share? Sorry guys, there's so many different no, I don't know that I want to do that. No, I don't think I want to hit that button. I mean, I guess I could do that, allow, but then you don't see me. Guys, I'm so bad at this. You think I would have had it down by now? Whatever. All right, you guys, you'll do it on your own. You're going to go to Ultimate Guitar. You're going to pull up If I Had No Place to Fall. Okay, it was the first one. They have it in the key of E. But we'll talk through this nice and easy here. Give me 1 second. All right. So, well, before we do that. So, if you have this all memorized, E string, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. Spend a week doing that. You can learn that in a week, and it's going to be great. So anytime I've got a note on this string, think of an E chord. How do I make, if this is an E, how do I make a major chord out of that note E? Think of an E chord, which from the ground up is open, open, 1. So that's an E major, right? And remember that, it's open, open, 1. E minor is just open, open, open. Well, guess what, cowboy chord players? We can move that anywhere on the guitar. All of that is movable. So, for example, E, F, G. G is my 3rd fret on the E string, right? Spend the time to memorize it. So how do I build a chord from that G? How do I make it a major chord? You might be like, oh, Mike, I don't know. I have no idea. But you do have an idea. Remember here it was open, open, 1. So we had starting note, same fret, right? Open is the same as open, and then 1 higher. So if I'm on a G on the 3rd fret, why make a major chord by going G, same note, 1 fret higher? So I have 3, 3, I'm borrowing those 3s, 3, 3, 4. Right, easy enough, yeah? Whoop, 3, 3, 4, that easy. And guess what, guys? This applies everywhere. So that's a G major. If I wanted to do an A major, I would simply find an A, that's the 5th fret on the E string, and I would do 5, 5, 6. Instead of 3, 3, 4, I'm doing 5, 5, 6. Which would be the same as open, open, 1, right? Same, same, 1 higher. So now you can play every major chord. E, if I go up 1 fret to 1, 1, 2, that's F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, D. You can play every major chord using that one shape. Incredibly valuable. And you might think that's impractical. It isn't. Lead players, second guitarists do this stuff all the time. Jazz players, rock soloists, it's all in triads. So spend a week memorizing all the notes on the E string, and I'll show you how to do that. Second thing, right, we talked about E minor being open, open, open. Real easy. So if I want to play a G minor, I simply find a G on the high E string, 3rd fret, and then I build the chord. 3, 3, 3, because E minor was open, open, open. So G minor is going to be 3, 3, 3. A minor, A is the 5th fret, so 5, 5, 5. B is the 7th fret. So all the minor chords are just me barring the same frets. That's it. You can play every major and every minor chord on your guitar, and it took you all of 4 minutes. That was with me rambling, all right, 8 minutes, but I rambled the first 4 minutes, okay? So you did it in 4 minutes. Do we have any questions in the chat? Questions in the chat. All right, so now we're gonna do this Townes tune, If I Had No Place to Fall. And sorry that the chords are not up on the screen. But it starts on an E chord. Well, so we're just gonna play it open, right? Open, open, 1. If I had no place to fall. Now there's all those colors. At some point we could learn how to do that, right? E, E major 7. How are we going to do that here? If I had no place to fall. Let's not worry about that. And A. How am I going to play an A? Yes, 5th fret is an A. So 5, 5, 6. I can play that like A like that. And I needed to, back to an E. Can I, F sharp minor. So again, don't worry about memorizing every string, but have signposts of just the letters. Don't worry about sharps and flats. But if you know F is the 1st fret, well, sharp just means 1 higher. So I'm gonna go to the 2nd fret, because it's minor, instead of 2, 2, 3, that would be major. I'm gonna do 2, 2, 2, because it's a minor chord. Could I count on you? Back to the A. To lay me down, E. So let's play it. We're gonna hang out on E. Ba-da-dum-dum-dum-dum-dum. To the A. Ba-na-na-na. Right back to E. F sharp minor, could I count? Then A. To lay, back to E. So again, go to Ultimate Guitar, pull these up, key of E. Let's try the whole thing, singing it. 2, 3, 4. If I had no place to fall, and I needed to, could So I'm just strumming. Another thing we can do is try to arpeggiate. I'm going to do thumb, pointer, middle. If I had no place to fall, hey, and I needed to, could I count on you to lay me down? Oh, next verse. I'd never tell you no lies. I don't believe it's wise. You got pretty eyes. Won't you spin me round? We tracking? Everybody tracking so far? So far so good, I hope. Aaron says, hey, just wanted to tell you how grateful I am for your channel. The accuracy in your covers and tutorials are on a different level compared to many others on YouTube. Thank you, Aaron. Appreciate it, man. That is what I'm trying to do. Bring these as accurate to the recording as I can and make them digestible. As I always say, I'm a dummy. I'm not a genius. Sure, I have the advantage of like starting guitar at 10. That does help a lot. But I teach a lot of retired dudes now, and they're picking it up, man. We're talking no musical experience, and in 3 or 4 years, they're like finger-picking Towns tunes and stuff. So it's totally doable. And thank you for the comment, man. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my breast to bring you the goods. And love all the Coulter Wall stuff you have done. Yeah, I did one on the new record. I've got to say, like, I love Coulter when he's playing solo, but his albums like just suffer from like country. I feel the same way about Sturgill Simpson. Even though that guy's got a killer band, right? Unbelievable lap steel player, great band. But I don't know, like when you get the whole band involved, it sounds just like stock country. Whereas when Coulter plays alone, it's like this really unique, beautiful thing happening. And then you get the whole band and it's like, why do I feel like I've heard this song? You know, it's just like too... I'm not saying it's like a Nashville sound, but you know what I mean? It just has like an overproduced sound. So I'm sure there's good tracks on that record, but I only listened to it once and I was kind of like, yeah, it's cool, but I didn't fall for anything. Anyway, thank you, Aaron. So we can play all the chords, right? So you could do this to No Place to Fall. You could do it to a ton of other songs. Again, let me share this with you just real quick. So I pulled this one up. It's whatever one on Ultimate Guitar here. But you guys see, then we'll get to this chorus down here where we have this F sharp minor part, B, F sharp minor, G sharp minor. So either screenshot this, guys, or just pull it up on Ultimate Guitar. Next time I'll screen share, but I don't want to hit all these buttons right now. I had it set up at one point, but I think I had to like redo this whole darn thing. So I apologize. So let's talk through these next chords here. F sharp minor, we already know. That's all the twos. I ain't much of a lover, then we're gonna go to a B. So you guys do your work. All we're doing is trying to memorize all the notes on the E string. So B, you can look at a cheat sheet. Eventually you're gonna learn, okay, 7th fret. Or just get in the habit of counting. B and E don't have sharps. So you're going 2 frets, except E doesn't have a sharp, it goes straight to F. 2 frets to G, 2 frets to A, it's just alphabetical order, right? 2 frets to B, and we're there on B. So the major shape is what? 7, 7, 8. So we had F sharp minor to B, which was, I ain't much of a lover, it's true. Back to F sharp minor, I'm here and I'm gone. Next chord is G sharp minor. We know G is the 3rd fret. G sharp, 1 fret higher. We want it to be minor, so I just do all the 4s. So F sharp minor is 2, G sharp minor are the 4s. So I'm here and I'm gone, back to E, and I'm forever blue. I love that, because now instead of being F sharp minor, it's F sharp major. So again, instead of 2, 2, 2, it's 2, 2, 3. Right, major chords are brighter, minor are darker. So it's F sharp major, and then but I'm sure wanting you. Is back to the B. So let's do that little chorus part. F sharp minor. I ain't much of a lover. B is true. F sharp minor. I'm here and I'm G sharp minor. E forever. F sharp major blue. B. And I'm sure wanting you. Let's try it. I'm just gonna sing it. I ain't much of a lover, it's true. I'm here and I'm gone, and I'm forever blue. And I'm sure wanting you. Back to a verse. Skies full of silver and gold. Try to hide the sun, but it can't be done, at least not for long. And again, let's go from the chorus again, but we're going to arpeggiate it. Let's do it backwards now. So I'm doing middle, pointer, thumb from the first string down. So first, second, third, and I'm just looping that. So from the F sharp minor, I ain't much of a lover, it's true. I'm here and I'm gone, and I'm forever blue. But I'm sure wanting you. Skies full of silver and gold. Try to hide the sun, but it can't be done. At least not for long. Beautiful. I know it's not big open chords, not finger picked, but man, does it help unlock the neck so you're not always stuck in doing the same thing. Makes it fun to jam with other people, and it just sounds cool. And there actually are versions where Towns is doing these shapes up high. I have a tutorial on this song, by the way. You can check it out. Cool. Let me check the chat here. I know, we're still good. Come on, there's 11 of you hanging out right now, so chime in. Let me know if you got questions, what else you want to talk about here. And hi, Maura. Hope you're doing well. Cool. Another thing you can do with this is you could finger pick it, right? So this is a lot of fun. Where if I have this E chord, how can we... This song's in 3/4, so it makes it a little bit trickier. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have finger picked in 3/4 before, but usually you have like a low note, high, high with a thumb. So my thumb's doing third, second, 1, 2, 3. Which means on the top string I can do like thumb, pointer, pointer. And that might be hard for some of you because it's in 3/4. So your thumb is doing low, high, high, low, high, high. So if this is too hard, don't worry about it. Do it however you want. I'd never tell you no lies. I don't believe it's wise. F sharp minor, you got pretty eyes, eh? Won't you spin me round? This is pretty beautiful. F sharp minor, I ain't much of a lover, it's true. I'm here, then I'm gone, and I'm forever blue. I'm sure wanting you. All this mileage with 2 shapes and memorizing the E string. It's freaking awesome. I hope that hits at home. And everyone in my Saddle Up course, that's an example of one way to do one song. Someone pick another song for me. Let's do another one. We'll do the same idea. And remember, you can do all sorts of different triads. You could say we use the E shape, right? Because it comes from E major and E minor. Of course, there are different triad shapes you can use. There's 3 in total. One where you have the root of the chord on the high E string, which is what we just did. The other one is where your root is on the D string. And that would be like, you know, like your D chord. This is D major, and this is D minor, right? So guess what? My root is on that my ring finger on the third fret of the B string. Third fret, second string. That's a D. And anytime you have a root on that string, well, in order to build a major chord, you do what we know as the D shape, right? Or a D minor shape, right? Notice that it's D major and D minor because of that finger. In my Saddle Up workshop, we talked about like all the theory behind it. Here's the root, a major third, perfect fifth. Here's the root, minor third. But guess what? Same thing applies. After you learn that E shape that we just discussed, you can spend a week or 2 weeks memorizing the notes on the B string. And again, start easy. B, C, D is open 1, 3, B, C, D. Then you can do E, F, G is 5, 6, 8. And again, now you can play all the major and minor chords using just a D and a D minor shape. Because no one's chatting, getting mad at you. Let's do the same song. All right, so let's talk through this. We're doing E. So we could have done our E here, which is what we were doing, right? That E shape. E on the first string. I do this shape. Now, when we got the, if we're trying to find an E on the second string, on the B string, well, B, C is the first fret, D is the third. And again, if you're trying to memorize this, use like a cheat sheet. And then E here is the fifth fret of the B string. That's an E. So from there, I'm just going to play a D chord. My ring finger's on that fifth fret, and I'm playing like a normal D chord. Again, D, D sharp, E. So I could have started my song here. If I had no place to fall. Sorry, let me scroll here. Then we have an A chord. So spend a moment. The way I know it's a B string. An octave is 12 frets. So I think B, B flat, A is the 10th fret. So if my ring finger's on the 10th fret of a B string, I can do the D shape there. So I'm doing this D chord on 4, 5, 4, and then on 9, 10, 9. And that's E to A. If I had no place to fall and I needed to, could I? F sharp minor. Well, remember, we're already on E here, 5th fret. So E, I know F is 6, so F sharp is the 7th fret. But because it's minor, instead of doing a D chord there, from that note, I'm going to make my D minor. So from the ground up, my frets are 5, 7, 8. But because we're doing roots on the second string, I'm always thinking of that second string. That's where my F sharp is. And I'm making the minor chord there. So F sharp minor, right back to A, 10th fret, and then back to E, 5th. Let's try the verse. If I had no place to fall and I needed to, could I count on you to lay me down? One more time. I'd never tell you no lies. I don't believe it's wise. You got pretty eyes. Won't you spin me around? We could arpeggiate it. I'd never tell you no lies. Don't believe it's wise. You got pretty eyes. Won't you spin me round? Really beautiful way. Oh, finally. Sorry, that AC unit was driving me nuts. Hopefully it wasn't too annoying in the mic. We have any questions so far in the chat? No, come on. What the heck? You guys are losers. Quiet chat room over here. What are you doing? What are you doing? You going for a walk listening to this stuff? Get your guitar out already. The last one, and I'm not expecting you to do this all overnight, right? So I've shown you 2 totally awesome things so far, and each one might take you anywhere from a week to a month to really feel like you have it down. But because I've given you the 2, let's do the third one. We're gonna do the same song, If I Have No Place to Fall. So we've done the E shape, E major, E minor. Right? If you're up the neck, it looks like, let's just say G is the 3rd fret. So 3, 3, 4 is major, 3, 3, 3 is minor. So anytime there's a root on the high E string, you can find the note that you're looking for. If it's B, that's the 7th fret, I do my major shape then, 7, 7, 8. Or if it's B minor, I do 7, 7, 7. And you can now play every major and minor chord, tracking the root on the high E string. Then we talked about anytime there's a root on the B string, that's the 2nd. You all right? You're live on the internet, Jane. I think my cat hurt my wife. No one's hurt. It's okay. Everyone's all right. All right. So then if we got a root on the 2nd string, the B string, I'm doing we can think of it as a D shape. Because this 3rd fret is a D, D major or D minor. And again, you can spend a week or a month just slowly memorizing all the notes on the B string, right? B, C, D, E, F. If I wanted to make F major, just finding my F and building that D chord, or F minor, building that D minor chord. Last one is with the root on the 3rd string. We can think of this as the A shape, I guess, because if you think of your A major chord, well, guess what? That 3rd string, that's an A. So I'm A, 2nd fret again, and then open. So 2, 2 again, same fret, and then 2 lower. So 2, 2 open. Well, guess what? If we're doing 2, 2 open, then that's going to track as this: 3, 3, 1, 4, 4, 2, right? So all my major chords are going to look like this. And now I know you're going to be like, what the hell, Mike, that's not an A shape. And I know, it might not be the best way to teach it, but just remember, 2, 2 open, that's like as if I had a 1st finger there, and then it moves up 3, 3, 1, right? It's always moving up the same distance. So you might not think of that as an A shape. Don't let the language confuse you. You can just spend, again, a week or a month memorizing, okay, if my root's on the 3rd string, let's do C. So I know G is open, A is the 2nd fret, B is the 4th, C is the 5th. So if I'm on the 5th fret, I'm going to do 5, same, and then 2 frets lower. So 5, 5, 3. I got a C major. It's the same thing, tracking that 3rd string anywhere. If I go to the 7th fret, that's a D. I could do 7, 7, 5, D major. To make it minor, we'll think of your A minor chord as opposed to your A major. Instead of 2, 2 open, it's 2, 1 open. So that ends up, that 2, 1 open becomes a 3, 2, 1 if I go a fret higher. So it's this little staircase chord. So if I wanted to do C minor, okay, C, I gotta go G is open, A is the 2nd fret, B is the 4th, C is the 5th. So I'm gonna do 5th fret, make it minor, so I'm gonna do 5, down 1 fret, down 1 fret, 5, 4, 3. That's C minor. If I wanted D minor, move that up 2 frets to D. If I wanted to do E minor, move it up 2 more. Remember, E doesn't have a sharp, so if I want to go from E to F, it's just 1 fret, F minor. Right, so again, 2 shapes, and I can find all the major and minor chords with roots on the 3rd string. And this is awesome, right? Honestly, if you practice this a little bit every day, pick just the E string root that I showed, spend 2 weeks. Do the 2nd string, like, man, you can get really good at this stuff in like a month's time, and there's so much application with it. So let's play through this here. No place to fall. So we got an E chord. How do we find the E on this 3rd string? We got G, A is the 2nd fret, B is the 4th, C, D, E is way up here on the 9th. So I'm going to do that shape where I got 9, 9 underneath it, then 7. 9, 9, 7, because my E is at 9th fret on the G string. If I had no place to fall. And then A, we already know, 2, 2 open. And I needed back to the E, 2. F sharp minor, well we're at E, so remember E, F, F sharp, I'm gonna go 2 higher to the 11th fret, and I'm gonna do it minor, so that's my little staircase, 11, 10, 9. Could I count on, back to A, you, to lay me down as E. Now I will admit, it's a little impractical to only do one shape, right? I'm probably never gonna be this high and jump this low. Doesn't sound good. But once you get good at finding the notes and playing the chords on all 3 strings, there's no reason you couldn't mix and match them all together. In fact, that's what you do to make pretty voice leading, we call it. But let's do that verse one more time. So, and then we'll talk about mixing and matching. So from this E. If I had no place to fall, and I needed to, could I count on you to lay me down? Awesome. So from there, let's do one example of mixing and matching, and then we'll call it a day here. So we just got one little mini lesson in here, practice together. Let's say I wanted to start my E this high. What's another way to do an A? Well, we talked about the A on the B string is actually the 10th fret. Right, A on the B string. So I could do that D shape here, 9, 10, 9. So I have my E is 9, 9, 7, because my E is 9th fret on the 3rd string. Again, I know you might be like, man, how am I going to track all this? Do one string at a time, and I promise you, you will get here. So 9th fret here, E, 9, 9, 7. Then I can do my A as a D shape, 10, 9, 10. If I had no place to fall, and I needed to. And we can do the F sharp up high again. Could I count, right, 11, 10, 9. And then we're already really close to that A that we just did, 10, 9, 9, or 10, 9. 9, 10, 9. Could I count on you to lay me down? Now it's all close together, and listen how pretty this can sound. Let me get close. Let's get this personal. If I had no place to fall, and I needed to, could I count on you to lay me down? Really cool. We could do the E here as a D shape, 4, 5, 4. So that's again, I'm tracking the B string here, B, open B on the 2nd string, C, D, E is the 5th fret. So do the D shape because it's the roots on the B string. So there's my E. Then if I wanted to do an A, well, I know right away A is 5th fret of the high E string, so then I can make that A 5, 5, 6, right? My roots on the E string, I build this shape. So I got my E as a, this D shape, and then my A chord here, 5, 5, 6. If I had no place to fall, and I needed to, then I can do all the 2s again. For F sharp minor, could I count on you? Oh, sorry, A. Could I count on you to lay me down? You can mix and match. You can also just make it climb all the time. This might be a little weird, but let's try it. If I had no place to fall, and I needed to, could I go higher? Could I count on you to lay me down? So you could always make them ascend. E, A, then do my E is this D shape, 4, 5, 4. F sharp minor could be here. My F sharp's on the B string, 7th fret, so I got 6, 7, 5. Back to an A, so I could do the D shape here on 9, 10, 9. And then this is a little ridiculous, but I could do an E on 12, 12, 11. All sorts of fun ways to play with this stuff. I hope it's helpful. Saddle Up group, you guys inspired me to kind of like do a lesson on this so you can see it in action. Now, sure, does this apply to every song? No, sometimes you just want to play cowboy chords and fingerpick cowboy chords, but it's especially helpful when you're jamming with other people, you want to do a second guitar part, and it just opens up the neck, gives you so many more possibilities than being stuck here. Again, you could Travis pick all these things too. E, A, E, F sharp minor, A. If I had no place to fall and I needed to, could I count on you, hold me down? And then anyone who wants to be like a lead player or add melodies to songs as like a second guitar part, I'm thinking of triads more than I am of scales. So for example, if I'm doing an E chord here, 4, 5, 4, like that'll kind of be the main part of my like lead. I'll do them as single notes, and maybe I'll add like other colors to it. And so I'm using that triad to ground me, right? If someone's playing an E chord, I know my E chord's gonna sound beautiful. So I could use that as a basis for my lead playing. These 3 notes are always going to be safe landing places, but that's another lesson. I hope this was helpful. Let me guys know what you think. I'm going to try and do regular live streams. Let me know what you guys would all like to see. More of you are filing in. Dan says thanks. You're very welcome. We got like, now we got like 15 of you in the house. But that's it. I'll try to do these more often. We can do practice togethers. And again, just comment down below. Let me know what you'd want to see next time. All right. Peace, y'all. Mike's Muscle Method.